Hey there, Mount Sac students. This is Kate Lawson. I will be your sociology and criminology instructor this quarter. So excited to have you. Welcome to the course. Again, super excited. So you have signed up for an 8-week compressed course. What does that mean? I want to be very clear about this. This course is going to move 2 times as quickly as a normal course because we are doubling up every week. And so, again, when I normally teach this course over the 16 weeks or whatever, each student gets one assignment, one quiz each week. But for you all, since you are doing this in 8 weeks, you will have 2 modules to do, 2 assignments, 2 quizzes, and that's the way it's going to be set up. So I just want to be really clear about that. It's really important that you're setting aside enough time and that you know what you're getting into. And so I always tell students in these courses, we move very fast. And I just want you to think about that before you jump into this, right? Is this the right time to be taking this course? I really want you in here, but I also want you to recognize that, the expectation is you're going to be spending around 6 to 8 hours a week on just this course. And so I just want to make sure that you have enough time to be doing that. And if not, that's okay. We offer this course over a 16-week period that you might also consider in the future if, this is going to be too much for you. So, I wanted to tell you a little bit about my background. So I am currently going to be teaching the course from Washington State, where I live. You're probably like, why? Why do you live in Washington? I was born in Long Beach and lived in the Inland Empire up until about 6 years ago. So I'm very familiar with your area. In fact, especially when teaching criminology, a lot of my references and things like that are more about, I know California better than I know Washington. So you guys are, I guess, benefit from that in some ways because I can, say Foothill Boulevard and everybody knows what I'm talking about. By the way, think about how Foothill divides class lines, right? Or arrow or whatever, right? So I'm from SoCal. I graduated from Cal Poly Pomona. I got my graduate degree, my master's from Cal State Fullerton. And I started my career at Mount Sac. And so that's why I'm still here is because I've been at Mount Sac. I think I started as a TA in 2006. And so, wow, 2021. I was very young when I started teaching, by the way. I was 25, and I was often confused or asked if I was a student by my students. So, but it's interesting, getting older. Anyways, so yeah, my background obviously is in crime and deviance. And so my emphasis in graduate school and my research was around prison rape. And so what I did was I went up and down the state of California and I interviewed newly released prisoners on their sexual assault, whether they had sexual assault in prison. And again, pretty heavy stuff for a lot of people. I found it really interesting. And so I really enjoyed working with this population. And after that, I wasn't sure what I was going to do. And I did kind of toy with the idea of going into corrections or going in specifically to parole. And I did about a 1-year internship with them. So I do have some experience working one-on-one with folks. Not a lot, maybe 2 years. But I ended up in the classroom and I'm really happy I did. I really enjoyed taking this class. In fact, my mentor from Cal Poly, he actually just passed. And I thought a lot about him because so many of my students end up going to Cal Poly. And I just think it's really interesting how, I was his student, they start with me and then they finish with him. So not anymore, but he was really important to me. So anyways, I hope you have that experience as well. So anyways, I obviously, like I said, I live in Washington State now. I moved up here just for a better pace of life. And I do love it. It's really beautiful right now. We experience about 9 months of rain. You see me, I keep looking outside because we're getting some really beautiful weather this week when it's probably been 9 months of rain and murky and gray. But we just moved up here for a slower pace of life, and we really do enjoy it. I do still miss SoCal, and there are many parts of the SoCal culture I miss. For one, the food is much better than up here. I also have a job up here, so I just work for Mount Sac part-time online on the side, but I'm a full-time faculty member at a college up here called Green River College, and so I teach you, and I teach my Green River students. I will say though, Mount Sac students have a special place in my heart. I like you. And you are different than the students up here, believe it or not. There's differences just from place to place. Because I used to teach at Chaffey, I taught at San Bernardino Valley. I've been all over. And there's definitely a difference. And so I really appreciate my Mount Sac students. You're really fantastic. So anyways, I just wanted to give you a little bit of background, but also to share with you what people in my field do, right? So some people go into corrections, some people go into academia. You know, you got to just explore it a little bit. And I'm always happy if anyone is interested in going into this field. If you ever want to, have a meeting or a Zoom conversation and kind of talk about direction or, how to get your foot in the door, I'd be happy to do that for you. So, just talking a little bit about the course at this point. As I mentioned, you need to put around 6 to 8 hours aside for this course. You'll notice that the course is set up in modules. So each week there will be 2 modules to complete. And generally the modules are set up where you have an audio lecture, you have a quiz, you have an assignment. So again, because we're doubling up, you'll be doing 2 modules a week. And I'll be on the other side keeping up with the grading and everything else. So I feel you. It gets a little, this class is a little intense, because I'm doing the other, we're ping-ponging, right? We're ping-ponging back and forth with these assignments. I will say though that this is an asynchronous class, meaning I do not require you to meet online at any time. All of my lectures are pre-recorded. With that, I want to say, I'm also really happy to meet with you on Zoom for office hours. I usually have office hours every Thursday from 10 to 11. Sometimes I have to move it because there's maybe some kind of meeting or something that pops up, but for the most part it's around that time. If that doesn't work for you, or you work during that time or something, just let me know and we can hopefully set up a time that works for you. I do only meet between the hours of 9 to 5 Monday through Friday. I know that that's really hard for some of you, but it's just some of those boundaries that I have to keep, that I'm not going to be meeting students on the weekends or past 5 o'clock at night. But I am available during those times. But also, most students are fine emailing me. I get back to you pretty quickly. Most of the time I'm sitting in front of my computer all day. So if you email me between like 9 and 3, you should get a response really quickly. At night, I do not answer emails. I will answer them the following morning. So, most of our correspondence will be through email, but some of the stuff, it's just easier to talk it through. And I'm really happy to do that with you if you need to, right? Just shoot me an email and we'll set up a time. All right. So yeah, I explained the modules. I just wanted to mention I do drop your lowest quiz. So if you miss a quiz or something like that, it's okay. It's not the end of the world. You absolutely need the textbook for this course. I sent an email, I don't know, a while ago, alerting you of you need this textbook right away. At this point, if you're just watching this and you don't have the textbook right now, you need to figure out how you can get the textbook like really soon. Whether you go buy it at the bookstore or download it digitally, that's up to you, but you can't expect to not have, I don't think you're going to do well. So because I know there's this waiting period, sometimes I did upload, I think 2 chapters of the text for you to kind of get started. But after that, so again, don't sit on your hands waiting for to order this book. You need it right away. Okay. You can find the syllabus in the top module on Canvas as well. The syllabus is really the blueprint for the course. So I urge you to go ahead and print it up. You'll notice that there is a free pass, which means you get 1 free week to submit an assignment. This isn't a absolute, you don't have to turn in the assignment. It just gives you an extra week for whatever, right? You're tired, you're sick, you can't do it. I get it. It's a hard time right now, right? So keep that in mind. Also pay attention to plagiarism. I'm pretty strict about plagiarism. We have plagiarism software on Mount Sac Canvas, and so it compares all of your work with previously submitted work as well as all the work online. So please don't plagiarize. It just makes things really, really difficult. Okay. I always tell students, it's hard work, if you're having a hard time writing, but the more you do it, it's like building a skill or a muscle, right? And you're going to get stronger and stronger and stronger. And one day, I recognize that people plagiarize because they don't feel confident. But I would urge you, I will work with you too if you need that extra help, but please, please, please don't plagiarize. All right. So at this point, hopefully you're kind of getting some clarification for the course. I think the course is like set up pretty clearly. You can, at this point, you can go on and like peruse all the assignments up until the last day of the quarter, which is around that mid June time. So peruse the assignment, get a sense of like what weeks you have the heavier assignments, and just pay attention, work ahead. And again, this is going to go really fast. You really have to have some good study skills for going to school online. And same for me as being an instructor online. This is not really what I do most of the time. Most of the time I'm in the classroom. And so, sitting in front of a computer for 8 hours a day is challenging. And you have to, I get up, I do some laundry, I take a walk, because I recognize it is a very hard thing to sit here for so long. So make sure you're taking care of yourself. Make sure you're taking care of your mental health, but also make sure you're being self-motivated, right? And do not wait until Sunday to start on these assignments. What if you have a question? I'm not going to be answering emails on Sunday afternoon. All of your questions need to be in by Friday. So again, make sure you're considering all of this, as you plan your week. And I know many of you have other responsibilities outside of the class as well. I also wanted to say, just kind of in lastly, that this is a really great time to be taking sociology, especially criminology. We have so much unrest and tension happening in our society right now. And, I'm not sure if you recognize, but crime is up and violent crime is up. And, for most of my lectures, because they were pre-recorded before these last couple months, I've been talking about how great it is that crime is actually going down. So for the last 30 years, we've seen a decrease in violent crime. And so even though there's an uptick with violent crime right now, I don't want to discredit the 30 years that it's been decreasing. And mass incarceration has also been going down about 1% to 2% every year, which is good. It's a slow progression, right? But we're at least going in the right direction. It's pretty bad for 30 years. And so, I want you to recognize that, but I also want you to recognize that as a sociologist, it's not surprising that crime is up, that violent crime is up. Consider what the hell we've been living through, right? We know, for instance, that when our norms, or Durkheim, our father of sociology, said that when our norms became unpredictable, it would lead to a state of what's known as anomie, or just so it's a real uneasy sense. Most of us have been feeling it over COVID. It's not depression, so to speak, but it's just not knowing what to expect, right? When are we going to go to work? When are we going to have our lives back? I keep telling people when they ask me how I'm doing, if they know that term anomie, I'm just like, it's anomie, man. I just don't, I'm kind of in the middle. I just want my life back. I'm sure many of you feel the same. And so, and understanding how Corona has impacted our lives, how going online, we have to understand that when one system is impacted, it also impacts all of our other systems. So we've seen, how a disease can spread, and how it can have an impact on our institution of Mount SAC as an institution, but all of the institutions across the world, not just, healthcare or medicine. We see how the prisons have been impacted. What do you do? Do you keep low-level offenders in jail when there's a Corona outbreak? Or at what point do you say, we're doing more harm? Or, we're being too punitive at this point. Now we're exposing these people to something really awful that could potentially kill some people. What do we do about our health care for uninsured people? Are we not going to inoculate them with the vaccine? So there's, all of these questions that have been kind of presented with COVID. But we know that, it's forced more of us into our homes. We've seen domestic violence and child abuse go up. Why? Because, we're with our families all the freaking time. Um, I think, not to look at all the bad, I think there's been some really beautiful moments that, a lot of us as families have had, gone, wow, what the hell have we been doing this whole time? We've been working 50 hours a week, barely seeing each other. And hopefully that's been your experience, but we also know that, people in close confined quarters during stressful times already, alcohol and drug abuse is up. That doesn't help for crime rates. And I know, even on my own experience, if my husband and I drink, it's not good sometimes, right? Because it's kind of like the mean comes out. Um, but we know that this can become much more serious for other people, and so it's a really good time to be taking criminology. I really hope to provide you an understanding so you can kind of look at what's going on, even after you take my class, and kind of put the pieces together on your own. So with that, I feel like I'm babbling just a little bit. I am so excited to have you in this course. Please, please, please reach out if there's anything I can help. And I'm having office hours every Thursday. I use the same Zoom info, so if you're looking for that, I don't send it out every week, but I'm always there. So come say hi. You don't even have to have a question. Just say what's up, just like you would, if we were in class, and just saying hi, or ask questions about the class, or ask questions about what it's like to be a sociologist if you're thinking about going down that realm. I feel very thankful and grateful that I get to teach this course for you, my male sex students. And with that, I wish you all a happy 8-week quarter. I'm rooting for you. You got this. And again, I'm always here for you. Okay, folks, take care. Bye.